It's been a minute since I've done this, a mat class virtually. So I thought it would be fun to give the Good Time community a fun little 30-minute banger, like the old days. I will make different corrections and cues to make things a little bit harder if you're in the mood to burn it out, or a little bit more gentle if you're in the mood to just kind of stretch and do your thing. So no props needed. You're just going to start laying on your back. Feet planted or long, honestly, whatever feels more comfortable for your hips. And just take a second. Arms can go anywhere. They can flop wide if you have the space. They can rest onto your body if that feels best. And just kind of take a second. Let your bones feel like they weigh 1,000 pounds. Let them heavy into your mat, into the floor. And then start to notice your breath. Just a nice deep pull of fresh new air in through the nostrils and out through the mouth. See if you can make your inhale last a little bit longer than normal. And as you send breath out, see if you can feel those ribs start to draw towards one another. Maybe you start to feel a little more breath into the back side of your body as you inhale. Imagine expanding through those back ribs, even through those shoulder blades. And then as you exhale, just kind of feel the back ribs heavy. Feel as if hands were wrapping those ribs towards one another, towards your navel. The next time you kind of feel that heaviness of your body, you're going to go ahead and reach both arms to the sky, palms facing one another. Let yourself take a nice big breath in this neutral position, and on your next breath out, you're going to reach for the ceiling, feeling those shoulders hover off the mat as if you could touch the sky. On your next inhale, you just draw those shoulders back into place, feeling some width across your collarbones, maybe even a little squeeze of your shoulder blades towards one another. And then just continue this saw, as if someone was pulling you by the pinkies, your ribs try and ground as your arms move away. And then as you suction those arm bones back in, you feel that broadness of your chest, your pecs relax. Your upper arm bone just hugs into the socket. Small range of motion, but kind of big and mighty ideal here, where you're trying to find mobilization in the part of your shoulder or the part of your arm that tends to get a little cranky and tight from, day-to-day life. The next time you feel your shoulders plug into place, we'll just keep them there. You'll take a nice big breath in, and on your exhale, we're going to scoop right leg into tabletop. Left leg will follow. You're now just in this dead bug shape. So take a second. Notice if your ribs are flaring towards the ceiling or your low back has an extreme arch. Take an inhale here, and on that exhale, I want you to imagine a heavy brick just placed onto your chest to guide that ribcage into the mat. If you need to tuck your pelvis here for a little bit of low back support, do it. If you need to have feet on the floor, do it. Take a nice big inhale here, and on your next breath, you're going to dip your right heel down, keeping the shape of your leg. Let it tap the mat, and then you're going to scoop that thigh bone back up into place as if it weighed 1,000 pounds. Inhale, left heel dips down. Draw that puppy back up. This is where your chin wants to tuck towards your chest, but I always imagine things with like rubber bands. It's how my brain understands the lengthening and shortening. So as my heel dips down, I'm thinking of that heel attached to a band that is also attached to my hip bone. And I'm just stretching that band and slowly bringing it back into place. That works for my brain. Doesn't work for every brain, but trying to move slow as your pelvis stays still. Just one more either side. The next time both legs meet in tabletop, we're going to bend at the elbows and bring the hands behind the head, a nice little support for your skull. Take an inhale. On your next breath out, elbows dip up into your periphery. You take a nice deep curl to look towards your thigh bones. Pause here. Keep that curl. Let the tips of your elbows reach to the ceiling a little more, remembering that those hands are a hammock for your head. Can you find a little bit more length through the crown of the head, creating even more more curls so the shoulder blades hover off the mat. Take an inhale in this shape, and on your exhale, lay back down. Good. Prepare the bottom with the breath in. Use an exhale for that deep curl. Remember, if you want, feet can be heavy on that mat. As we progress, you can always come back to the first variation we're finding. The goal here is to move slow, right? You're getting a nice full breath in either direction of this curl, of this flexion. We got one more, just laying down, curl back up. We're gonna pause on the next curl. We're gonna let our left arm reach forward by our hip. My palm is facing in, my legs are still in tabletop. Take a nice big inhale. This time as you find your head lowering down, you'll also lower your right foot to the mat. So I feel my right footprint hit the mat at the same time my head does. As I come up, I'm gonna lift that right leg back to tabletop. We're going for 4 like this. Right foot down, head down. Right knee back up, head curls forward, just through center. Remember that left arm is reaching long away from you. You're trying to keep a broadness in the front of that left shoulder. We'll add the arm in a moment, but for now it's just reaching. Last one like this. You're gonna scoop that right leg to tabletop. You're gonna curl up nice and high and hold. Left arm is gonna open wide like a wing. Nothing else changes. We close it back in, curl even higher. Okay, remember you can always bring left foot to the mat for support. Head can always be down. You're gonna add in the right leg lengthening long as the left arm reaches wide. You're gonna pull the knee back into place as you close that arm. Just 4. Arm opens, leg extends. You curl even higher as those limbs come back into place. I truly imagine that left arm sliding through peanut butter or mud as it opens, and even more so as it closes. One more like this. Pull the knee in, close the arm, curl even higher. Then relax your head, relax your feet. You take a breath between sides, because that's hard. Nice big inhale and exhale as your head gets heavy. Maybe arms open wide, maybe knees. Take a little flop to the right, to the left. Good. Make your way back to center. Nice and slow, both hands behind your head, both feet planted on your mat. Take an inhale here. On your exhale, we reset with 3 curls. You just curl to look at your legs. You relax your head back down. You're welcome to float those legs into tabletop here if you're ready. Otherwise, 2 more. Just kind of resetting center. Reminding your abdominals that they work as a system. There's no one part of your abdominal connection that you are working at once. Good. Now the next time that we curl forward, we're gonna stay in that curl. One leg at a time is gonna float to tabletop. Take a second here. When you're ready, right arm lengthens forward by your hip, palm facing in. You're gonna step the left foot down this time. Head is gonna lower back. You're gonna exhale to gently curl and look at those legs. Left foot down, head down. Deep curl as you pull that leg back up in space. Remember, as you curl, you can reach the right fingertips even farther forward for more support. We've got 3. Foot down, head down. Can the speed match? Last 2. Now, the next time you pull that left leg to tabletop, you curl nice and high. We're gonna hold it there. Keep the legs in tabletop. Keep your curl if you can. Remember, head can be down, feet can be down. Otherwise, wide, right arm opens wide like a wing. Nothing else changes about your shape. Press the arm back in towards your hip, curl even higher. Can you stay so stable as that arm opens wide? Press it and curl even higher. Add the left leg straightening as the right arm opens wide. Pull the knee in, press the arm, curl even higher. We've got 4. Leg out, arm open. Deep curl to pull those limbs back in. Last 2. We're going straight into a bicycle after this. If you need a break, you frickin' take it. Last one, pull the knee in. Hand comes back behind your head. You have the support of both hands. Extend your right leg long, twist to the left. Pull it back in, meet your legs in tabletop, and inhale, exhale, twist to the right, left leg extends. Take this how you want to. If you want to speed it up and get crazy, go for it. Not my vibe. I'm gonna go nice and slow. We've got 1 more to each side. Just this nice big twist up and over now that we're warm. Good. Good. The next time you feel yourself even, find center, relax your head, grab your shins, pull them in towards your chest. Take a couple circles with those hands on your knees. If rocking side to side with legs together feels nicer, of course do so. Give your hips a little opening, whatever you need. And then lay those legs nice and long on your mat or wherever you are. Arms are going to reach overhead, point through your toes, point through your fingertips, get stretched like a piece of taffy. Sweep your hands towards your pinky toes, tuck your chin to chest, flex your feet, get some activity through the lower half of your body, and dive up and over those feet. Take a second in this fold. Maybe your hands can touch the bottoms of your feet, so cool, so great. If they can't, also so cool, so great. You can grab your shins. You can bend the knees a little. Your goal is to keep your sits bones heavy on that mat as you fold. So whatever gives you that opposition, wherever you have to grip, find it. Take a second, let your head look left and right, making sure your neck feels square and fine. Relax those shoulders. A little pedal of your feet into your hands or away from your hips, and then you're just gonna roll yourself up to seated. Give your shoulders a nice big roll up and back. Perfect. Now we're gonna go ahead and find ourselves on all fours. If you have any knee stuff, pad under your knees. If you have any wrist stuff, you can always do this on your forearms or even on your knuckles. Or you can just not do it at all, you know? That's the vibe. Okay. So find your hands just beneath your shoulders. I want you to spread all 10 fingers wide. Feel your thumbs just as heavy as your pointer fingers, just as heavy as your pinkies. You really want to leave handprints on that mat, yeah? Start to find just a little cat-cow. You're active in this cat-cow. So as you're moving, you're finding a nice deep connection to the muscles that you just warmed up, right? That abdominal wall, those obliques. Feeling a nice stretch through that thoracic spine, opening up the chest and heart. One more of your own fruition. You can absolutely do circles, side to side, and then call it disco, you know, whatever that is. Okay. Pause the next time you find neutral. You're gonna go ahead and tuck your toes for me, push into the palms even more, feel width across your upper back. From here, you're just gonna take a simple hover of your knees up 1 inch. Okay, take an inhale, and as you exhale, set those knees back down like they are made of glass. You push into the palms, you're pushing the floor away. You scoop through the low belly, you just warmed up, you hover the knees 1, 2, 3 inches. You lower them down just as slowly, okay? We're gonna add on to this, so the next time that you feel those knees hover, you're gonna pause. You're gonna draw a line with your kneecaps. They open apart 2 inches. They narrow back 2 inches. You set them back down. So knees go deep top, open, close, right? So if you're like, that feels like shit, do 1 knee at a time, no biggie. You hover, feet don't change. This is from inside the hip. You open, close, set back down. We're going for 4. You should start to feel a little wake up of those adductors of your pelvic floor as if you were squeezing a ball and letting it go. Last 2. Nice, starting to feel those triceps. Give me one last one. We're gonna hold the hover of the knees. We're going for 4, open, close. For 3, open, close. We're gonna pike our hips up for downward dog in 1. You narrow the knees to parallel, lift those hips to the sky. That was hard. Okay, find your downward dog. Start to open up your hamstrings, give the hips a little sway. Maybe press your ribs back towards your thigh bone. Still feeling all 10 fingers, still feeling your handprints. Walk your hands maybe 1 to 2 inches past where they just were. You're gonna keep the legs as straight as you can, bend them if it feels better. But you're gonna lift the heels, tuck your chin to chest, unravel out into your high plank. Take a second in your plank. Nice big inhale, nice big exhale. We're gonna do 1 more time, that's it. Big lift, downward dog, find a little pike, find a little pedal, find a little prance. And then lift those heels, unravel, find your plank. We're just taking 3 deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. As you feel your breath out, can you feel that wrapping sensation we started with when you lay on your back simply by breathing? 1 more inhale, exhale. Gently soften the knees to the mat. Press your hips back, widen the knees, take a child's pose. That's hard. Take a little inhale, exhale. Maybe the wrists get a little sway or circle. I like to press the backs of my hands together just to give a little bit of relief from that flexion of the wrist. Perfect. Okay, you're gonna make your way up to stand. Feet in the center of your mat, or wherever feels best. And then you're gonna go ahead and find width. So I'm standing just a little bit wider than my hip bones, slightly turned out. If this feels like shit, do it a different way. You can always just find a nice narrow position of your legs, okay? So find whatever works for your hips. You're gonna find your version of your deepest squat. So you're squatting low. I'm gonna kind of sit into my squat. Put your hands on the floor, open up those hips. You kind of played a little bit with this when we were just hovering the knees, the little open and close. You're gonna find yourself pushing through your feet to stand back up. Good, we're gonna do that one more time. You get as low as your hip flexors allow. You give a little wiggle, a little movement, open your feet, open your hips. I'm already sweating. Pause, push into those feet, stand yourself back up. Glorious. Now, right foot's gonna step forward, left foot is gonna step back. I only want the distance of your legs as much as you can, keep your hips square and forward. Hopefully you're not doing this on camera. If you're on the floor, use whatever you need to find balance, okay? Both hip bones are angled forward. My back heel is elevated, so I'm pushing weight to my front foot. From here, I'm gonna bend my front knee, but I'm gonna stick my hips back so I can find a lunge shape. So my knee isn't over my toes. It's fine if yours is, but your goal is to really pull that right butt cheek back in space so you're feeling this nice deep bend and hinge from the hip. You're gonna push from that right footprint to come all the way back up to stand. Both legs straight at the top, like you're doing a front split. You hinge from that hip to bend that right knee and bow forward. You push from that right foot to come all the way back up. We're going for 5. We're just kind of waking up this right hip. Nice deep push back up. 4 more. If you're someone that likes weights, you can add weights to this in your hands. If you're like, this is too intense for me, you can always do this with your left knee down on the mat and still get this hinge in that right hip by shifting your torso forward and back. Check in with your left hip. We're still square. You're not letting that left hip expand wide. And just let your arms do anything. Now the next time your right knee bends and you are in this lunge, you are gonna stay in this little lunge. You are gonna start to lift your right heel, lower your right heel, then push yourself back up. We just do one each time, friends. We hinge. Find your lunge, lift that right heel, lower that right heel, push yourself upright. Add a little armography. It helps, I don't know why, to move, to have them available and have freedom with those shoulders, just in case you need those arms for balance. Last 2 like this, nice and slow. We're not rushing through it, there's no rushing here. Good. Now, the next time we're in that lunge, we go for 4 in a row. Right heel lifts, lowers, 3 more. Last 2, can you lift away from that thigh? Pull the navel towards the ceiling. The next time that right heel lifts, hold. Can you push yourself upright, keeping your heel lifted? Yowza, front split, the inner thighs chap. Bend that right knee, come back into your lunge with your left heel lifted. Okay, we just have 4. If you're like, that's crazy town, heel is down. Crazy town, heel is down. Last 3, nice and slow. You can always just pop a heel lift in here and there if you want a little taste of that burn for 2. The next time that you find that lunge, it's your final push. You're gonna bend that right knee, you're gonna hinge your chest forward, set the right heel down, hands come to the mat. Step your right foot back, you're in your plank. Okay, take a second in your plank. Again, welcome to come down to forearms. We're gonna do a couple side planks here. So you're gonna twist your hips, drop your left hip to the floor. Right arm is gonna spin up towards the ceiling. You're in this nice, delicious side plank. Glutes are actively pushing those hip bones forward, nice and stacked. Rotate back down, hand to the mat, hips square to the floor. 2 more times, same direction. Left hip drops. Open your hips, open your arm. Feet can stack if that's your vibe. Rotate back down, find your plank. Last 2. Nice and slow, feeling that little burn in that right glute supporting you. Last 1. Open up for that side plank and hold if you're feeling delightful. Right leg hovers. Find that glute, breathe. Woo! 3, 2, 1. Foot down, rotate down, find your plank, set your knees down, push back, take your child's pose. That ended up being harder than I planned. Okay, we just got to do it on the other side. That's a bummer. Before we do, sit on your butt. Feet can be planted to make this a little bit more accessible, or legs extend nice and long if that feels good for you. You're just gonna do a couple roll downs. Get that spine back to a juicy spot. With your legs nice and even, active on the mat, we reach forward, we tuck our tail, we slowly lay ourselves down. The more you engage through the legs, the better of a chance you'll have for those hip flexors to not take over. So I really flex my feet. I try and press down to my heels as I curl my way up. You can also always put ankle weights on for support in this specific position, or rest a heavy blanket over your ankles. Or if your best friend's watching you work out, you can have them hold your feet. Just so you're getting a little traction. Our hip flexors are quite active all the time, our superficial hip flexors. So we get a lot of activity in the hip flexor where our abs are supposed to be a little bit more involved. We're just doing one last one. Big reach for your toes, take your time, find a sticky spot and breathe there. If you end up laying back down, that's okay, at least you tried it. Up and over your feet, take a hold. Nice big breath. And then roll yourself up to seated. We'll bring ourselves to stand one more time. Last little bit. So, exhausted. Left foot forward, right foot back, and just kind of square your hips, right? You don't want to have that left foot so far forward that your right hip is open. You want it to adjust so that you feel like your stance keeps your hips facing forward. Let your inner thighs magnetize towards one another. Back heel is lifted, okay? We're gonna bend that front knee, but hinge from the hip to tip our chest forward. We are gonna push firmly into the floor with that left foot to straighten the leg and come back up. Now this side's a little harder for me, so I like to touch my hip bones and kind of guide my pelvis where I want it to go. Proprioception with your hands is super underrated. It's fucking so good, right? When you touch something, it knows what to do. So like, if you're not feeling your left glute, maybe give it a little poke, like good morning. Help me out here in these fucking lunges. Nice deep push back up. Good, now we're gonna add that heel lift in. So you're gonna bend that left knee, you're gonna tip your chest forward. You're gonna lift that left heel, you're gonna lower that left heel. You're gonna push from that footprint to come back up. We're doing that a couple more times. We take our hinge, we hold, we find our lift, our lower, we push from that strong footprint to lift our chest back up. Your torso from head to pelvis all moves as one solid piece. All 10 toes push firm into the mat. That back heel stays elevated so your weight is shifted forward. Last 2 like this, and then we'll hold for a couple in a row. If you feel like your stance is off, adjust your feet, right? You don't have to settle for your hips and legs to be uneven, not in class. Last one. We're gonna lift and lower that left heel for 4. For 3. As it lifts, you're getting deeper in that hip socket. Can you drop up and away with that pelvic floor? Hold the lift of your heel if you want to. Push into the ball of that left foot. Come back up. Feel that tuck of your pelvis to find that lift of your ribcage away. Hinge your chest forward, heel stays elevated. We're going for 4. Any option here that works. Back knee can be down. You can be holding on to something for support, an edge of a chair, a foam roller, standing tall. Last 3. Trying to move slow, feeling the mechanics here. What is going on? Can my abdominals support me a little more as I hinge forward? Last 2. Almost there, friends. Good. Heel doesn't have to be super high. Mine's maybe an inch off the mat. Last one. Okay, heel is still elevated as you come up for that last one. You're gonna hinge your chest forward. You're gonna set your left heel down. Hands come to the mat. However, it's easiest to get there, step that left foot back. You're in your plank. Remember, forearms are totally fine here. You're gonna swivel your butt to the right, open up for that side plank. Big reach. You're gonna rotate back down, find your plank. Take your time with this. What is happening as you rotate the hips, rotate the ribs, reach to the sky. You're moving away from the mat. You're feeling all that basic rotation and abdominal work supporting you here. Last 2. Almost done. Give me one last one. We find that spiral, we hold if you want it. Maybe left foot hovers, I don't know. Find that left glute, breathe. 3, 2, foot down first, hand down second, knees down last. Take your child's pose. Whew. Good. All right, we got one last piece, just to tie it all together. Nothing crazy. Just a nice grounding situation. So you'll lay on your back, just like we started. Feet on the mat. Take a little breath. If your heart rate's up, just kind of settle for a second. Bring your awareness back to your bones. Take a nice big breath in and out. Hands are going to rest down to the mat, nice broad collarbones. Heels as close to your butt as feels comfortable for bridging. You're going to press into both footprints. You're going to scoop through the low belly with the pelvic tuck. And you're going to peel your hips up and find your bridge. Adjust anything you need. Okay, I'm feeling knees higher than hip bones higher than navel, navel higher than ribs. So you're this long line. Take a breath, connect to both glutes, both hamstrings. Imagine dragging your heels towards your butt to create a little bit more effort. Nice and slow with an inhale at the top. You exhale to roll yourself back down. That nice, smooth movement of vertebra by vertebra. 2 more like this, just a straight up bridge. You're trying to connect all the dots. Arms can reach up to the sky if that feels nice. Your bridge can be low if that feels better. But think about your feet both at the top of your bridge and the bottom of your bridge. Can you push into both footprints evenly? Not just the pinky toes, but the big toes. Good. Adding one combo to this. The next time that you roll your butt down and you're back to a neutral pelvis, hands will come behind the head. You're going to gently curl to look at your legs. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Head lowers back down. Elbows widen. You're heavy in the head. You tuck your toe. You peel up through your bridge. You roll yourself down. You curl yourself forward. Depending on how your low back feels, I'm going to add one more element to this. If you're like, I'm so good right here, just feeling the whole posterior chain, and then the whole front of your body. But if you're feeling up to it, the next time your hips hit the mat, as you curl, can both legs scoop towards you. Maybe your knees touch your elbows. You set your feet back down as your head hits the mat. You peel your hips up, you find your bridge. Final push. Tail hits the mat. Maybe you scoop the legs up with the curl, become a little ball. Feet down. Last bridge. Find your glutes, find your hamstrings. The next time that you roll your hips back down, either one at a time or same time, you're going to curl forward, end up with those legs back in your tabletop. Take a nice big inhale. Take a nice big exhale. On your next breath, you're gonna either extend one leg long or both legs long. Bend those knees back in, maybe they touch your elbows. Legs extend, bend back in. 2 more. On this last one, you're gonna shoot your legs long, either one or both. Arms are gonna reach back by your head and you're just gonna hold. For 5, 4, can you curl higher? 3, can you lower the legs? 2, last one. Knees into your chest, hands to your shins, head to the mat. Anything you need here, a little rock with your hips side to side. A nice bit of heaviness in your head. Left foot comes to the mat, right ankle over in a figure 4 shape. I like to open the arms to a T. You can pull that left thigh in towards you if you want to. Otherwise, let this shape kind of dip to the left. You can plant your right foot to the mat, but keep pressing your knees in opposite directions. Pull that back in through center. Switch the cross of your legs, left ankle over right thigh. Take a second in your figure 4. I like to press that left thigh away. You can also pull the right thigh in towards your chest. With broad arms for support, you can let that whole shape dip to the right when you plant your left foot, but keep pressing that left thigh away. Left shoulder is heavy. One more nice big breath. Pull your legs back in, find your starting shape. Legs can go long, hands can come somewhere onto your body, chin moves away from your chest, and one last full deep breath in. And one last full exhale out. Woo. Congrats. You finished 30 minutes-ish of mat movement, no props. If you ever have questions about what we're doing or what you're feeling in a movement, email us, DM me. I love to chat about all things Pilates. Otherwise, enjoy the day.